Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
And it's the weekend on AKAPAD. You guys know, I know I'm the film buff, but on Saturday, on Sunday, we do cartoons, we do animations. So welcome back. We got it's so interesting. And I've attempted to record this a few times, so I know how interesting and difficult it is to describe the 2006 Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes. Effectively, maybe an anime we can call this, but it's a Fantastic Four cartoon, and it's separate from the entire Marvel universe. So we're not getting crossover stuff. We're getting the entire Fantastic Four catalog. So if you need a way to crystallize for example, like Fox buys the Fantastic Four rights from Marvel, what do they get with it? Because you're not just buying the team, you get this family of characters, a tree of characters that all first appeared in Fantastic Four, and some of them could have carried on and become substantial like solo Marvel comic book characters, like someone like Black Panther. Black Panther, for some reason, isn't grouped in with the Fantastic Four rights, which is insane. But characters like Silver Surfer and Galactus are. Technically, Inhumans should be a Fantastic Four property. So it gets wonky. But if you need a way to crystallize what a rights package looks like, and wow, we're opening with lawyer talk. Like I said, I've had trouble discussing this series. You can look at this series. We have 26 episodes. The final air date, here's a crazy thing. The final air date, February 25th, 2010. That was episode 26. The first air date, this is nuts, September 9th, 2006. 2006. So for like 6 years, it took them 4 years to get all these episodes out of the gate. And I believe there were problems airing this. I think it was more potentially of a foreign show that came to the U.S. And we have the Cartoon Network to thank for it. But I do remember this dropping on Cartoon Network. I remember kind of like around this time, there was a like an MTV 3D animated Spider-Man show. It just seemed like Marvel was trying to branch out. And I want to say even Spike had the real anime. They had the Blade anime, the X-Men anime. So there was a little bit of this like mid-2000s sweet spot where all the Marvel shows looked like they were anime, and they were on like they were on like edgier networks. Like I said, MTV, Spike, Cartoon Network, still edgy because they had the Adult Swim stuff and the Toonami stuff. But Cartoon Network always chasing that Dragon Ball Z nut, where anime looking characters, high action, science fiction, fantasy, but just like hardcore male audience looking stuff. And this Fantastic Four show is it really is, I guess pun intended, fantastic. We don't get much of a origin with episode 1 called Doomsday. We just move past the origin. We see things happen, but we get into Doctor Doom episode 1. We get into Mole Man episode 2. I love the design for Mole Man. And we have a comic book creator that you should be aware of. His name is Christopher Yost, as some people like to say. The show is co-developed by him with Greg Kyle, also of comic book lore. He's the guy that created X-23, the female Kid Wolverine. And the two of them bring in this flavor. We have maybe the best designed Johnny Storm in history. We have solutions for the Thing. The Thing has a 4 painted on his chest, but he's also wearing like Zuba workout pants. He's wearing training pants or powerlifting pants at the time. A lot of the powerlifters back in the day wore baggier clothes so they could move. This is before like everything became about compression. Thank you, Under Armour. And the timing of this, so we get the first true live action Fantastic Four movies, 2005. And then 2006, this drops, and in 2007 we get Rise of the Silver Surfer. Now we've discussed both of those on this podcast because we're doing Fantastic Four Superman month. But we get something of a push here. And I think that this is the larger observation. And I've watched a couple YouTube videos of people talking about the history of Fantastic Four animation. And they always just unfairly compare this to the 90s cartoon that we also discussed. It's unfair because the major discussion point is that series did Galactus this way, or this series did Doctor Doom that way. And they try and make these one-to-one comparisons where the Fantastic Four 90s was intended to push action figures and flood the comic shops. This intention here is to go global with the Fantastic Four brand, and we'll call it that. We have a self-contained Fantastic Four universe. We have a somewhat an updated, skewed origin that's streamlined. Because the Fantastic Four origin, like, no one really cares about it. They really don't. I think they made the right choice with this new movie to go non-origin. They have maybe the worst origin in comics, by the way. But one of the best results because we love the characters and we love the powers. This series was intended to broaden the reach of the next movie, to embed itself in the hearts and minds of children and young teenagers who liked action, who liked anime, who wanted big ideas, big fights, all of these things. And this it fails and it stumbles, and we kind of see it stumble right into Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, where Silver Surfer in the Rise of it effectively was a huge update over that initial movie. Rise of the Silver Surfer is a lot more of the what we wanted from a Fantastic Four movie. So all of these things are done well and they're done right. But and I bring this up time and time again, but the Fantastic Four doesn't quite click, and we saw it just happen now with this new movie. A good first weekend, really bad second weekend. The Fantastic Four concept can only go so far. And the reason for that is, I hate to say it, the concept can reach, period. Like, the concept can only reach so far. The concept can only touch you in certain ways. But I think this is maybe and it's because I'm having fun enjoying and exploring all of these episodes. One of my best consumption methods is like episode 17, Doomsday Plus One. It's such a good freaking. It's the Doombots episode, and Doombots are essential when it comes to Doctor Doom lore. There's all this speculation about what's happening with Doctor Doom and the new Avenger movies, like all this stuff, and no one is putting Doombots in their YouTube theories, which is, maybe that's an upcoming video. We have Atlantis attacks. Again, Fantastic Four embedded with Namor. But I like going back and forth. And there is so much Doctor Doom. I mean, there's one I haven't watched yet. It's called Doom's World. Doom's Word is Law. But I like going back and forth, where I'll watch some in the middle, some in the end, some in the beginning. And it just helps me wrap my head around the scope of the series. And if there's like story tags or elements, I'll try and make like a quick note. So if it is like referencing a previous episode, but I do my best to really capture all of it for you guys. And I'm just enjoying the range of this series. I'm enjoying the range of the Fantastic Four family, if we want to call all of these inside outside characters. It's just there. Now, when we do compare it to the 90s series, the 90s series brings in, for example, Daredevil, Ghost Rider. Technically, there's chunks of the 90s series that's connected to Spider-Man, the animated series, those Secret War episodes. But there was a clear intent to always use Fantastic Four at one point to draw in the rest of the Marvel Universe. They use Fantastic Four very similar to Spider-Man. And the difference is, like, for a quick example, like, you could have, like, the X-Men animated series, and it somewhat is the X-Men universe in the Marvel Universe, but completely separate. And that we saw that with that series, or what we like to call X-Men 97. We didn't get much crossovers with other characters until way later, like 5 years into that series, or maybe like 6 years in. Fantastic Four is always the Marvel Universe building title. They're perfect for it, even though their appeal goes so far. And this is a chunk of the true hubris of this series. But AKAPADers, this is available on Disney Plus. I implore anyone to go check this out. This is such a well thought out series. I love all I think this has, pound for pound, some of the best design work you could wish for a lot of the comparable Marvel shows. For example, if you want to compare it to that Spider-Man MTV series, like, this wins over design work. Great shapes, great silhouettes. I like their solutions for the Thing with the baggy workout pants and the four painted on his chest. The Thing too has some really good shots. Like, they thought out his brow, they thought out his jawline, like his. So you get these nice low angle shots with the Thing, stuff you haven't ever seen before, even within the illustrated comics. Check out AKAPADers, and the series also they have their own Herbie. They really pull in all of the elements to push it to a new audience, and it's just frustrating that it didn't catch on, because if you watch the first initial episodes, you would say to yourself, oh, well, this at least went 3 seasons, this maybe went 4 seasons, and you just learn the release scheduling and the way this was dropped was a slow disaster. Like I said, years between some of these episodes. All right, AKAPADers, I love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.